Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is MJ Pinky, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about what my critique group had to say about my edit of chapter 35, which is one of my main characters' aha moments, where she really reevaluates her beliefs and her values and some of the things that she has been taught from a young age. And some of these themes in this chapter, well, some of the themes in my book in general are very a bit sensitive, and some of the things that this main character is understanding, they don't make her too likable of a character at first. This was the chapter where all of that is kind of really coming out, because she is thinking about herself not being a very likable person because of this reason. And some of the members of my critique group really didn't like this chapter. They don't really connect with this character, and they don't really like this character. And it's kind of hard to hear that, you know, because you want your characters to be likable, and you want your chapters to be readable, and you want everybody to enjoy reading your story. And when someone says, you know what, I just really don't like this character at all, I don't care about what they're going through because I don't like them. It can be rough. It can be rough. I sat on this chapter after that critique meeting for several days, just processing everything. And I don't know that I'm really going to change this character very much, because I have created her purposely flawed and purposely misguided, so that the things that she experiences can influence her beliefs and change them, because she's a very spoiled person, and that is her arc. The things that she goes through are designed specifically to help her understand that that's not the world that most people live in. And so, you know, it's taken her a while to get to this point. I think by some of my critique group members not liking her as a character, I feel like that kind of validates where I'm going with her a little bit. It did fall a little flat, though, since this is supposed to be her, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible person chapter. And they still weren't really sympathetic for her. And I don't really know if I need my audience to really like her at this point. It surprised me to get the feedback I got, because so far nobody's really said anything like that. So I'm going to chalk this up to some of the limitations of submitting something over such a long period of time. Nobody really seemed to get that she's a flawed character, and that she's that way on purpose, and that she's not really likable. Like, that was my intention with her. So I think there's just some disconnect there. I probably will not be submitting any more chapters from this character's POV to the critique group, just because of how, I guess, sensitive her arc is and triggering, and the way she behaves. You know, some of the things that she does and thinks, and the way that she treats people, can be triggering. And so that was basically what was expressed in the critique group, that they maybe felt like I was like condoning that behavior through creating her character that way, because they thought they were supposed to like her. And so I think by separating out chapter by chapter over the course of a year and a half, you know, some of the earlier chapters with her, and where I foreshadow what her arc is going to be, have been forgotten or changed a lot. You know, some of my critique group members have just recently joined, so they're not really getting the full picture of this character and where she started and where she is now. I'm just gonna put a pin in this really for now. and address this with a beta reader, or if I hire like a professional manuscript critiquer who's going to actually sit down and read this from start to finish in, you know, a short period of time. And I'm going to see what their thoughts are on it, if her arc works or not, or if she just really is an atrocious character. This particular chapter was supposed to be like her turning the corner on it. So I think the real problem has her behavior up until this point, is it forgivable? And maybe that's where the critique group was trying to go with this. Like, no, she's really not forgivable. Like, I don't really care what dawns on her in this chapter. It doesn't make up for how horrible she has been for the rest of the chapters that we have read. And I really think that that's kind of like the meat of this. Like I said, I probably will not be submitting any more chapters with this character to the critique group. There are a couple of other people who have agreed to keep reading just to give me feedback on what's going on with this character. It's important for every author to realize that not everyone is going to like your book. Not everybody is going to like your themes. Not everybody is going to like the characters that you create or want to, you know, keep reading to figure out what happens to them. Some readers are going to lose interest. And that's just the nature of being a writer and writing certain stories. And your story's not going to be for everybody, but that doesn't mean that you need to give up on it or stop writing it. There were a few things that I am going to take to heart, and I am going to incorporate for this chapter and for the entire book as a whole. Just go back from the beginning and tweak a little bit. Not all the feedback that I got for this chapter is bad feedback, I guess. Some of it's good, and some of it I will incorporate, and some of it I'm just going to put a pin in and see what somebody thinks about this character, having read in a shorter period of time and who has read everything that she has gone through. So anyway, that's really all I have for this video. I hope that you have found this helpful and enjoyable, and I will see you guys in a future video. Happy writing.